Hey, this is Tyler, Technical Evangelist for Portrait Displays. In this video, we're going to show you how to calibrate Dolby Vision on the 2020 OLED televisions. Items you will need for calibration are a PC or Mac running Boot Camp or virtual machine, Calman Home for LG software, a compatible colorimeter, and a USB drive that's formatted to FAT32. We're not going to go through the same explanation of everything you need. That is all in the previous video, which was on SDR, or Standard Dynamic Range. So if you haven't watched that video, I suggest that you watch that video first and then come back to the Dolby Vision one. We're going to assume you've already downloaded the video files and put it on your thumb drive and plugged it into the TV. That is explained in the previous video. So the first thing we're going to do is open Calman. We're going to have our meter plugged into the computer and on the TV. We're going to now open our LG workflow by going up to here and going down to Open Workflow Template, Display Specific, and then LG AutoCal. Now we're going to select OLED right here and Dolby Vision. Okay, now on the TV, we want to go to the media player, built-in media player app, and you want to select your Dolby Vision test pattern file that you downloaded from the website. Once that is playing, we're going to go to Find Meter, and it's going to search for our meter, which is an X-Rite i1 Display Pro Plus. And we're going to select Raw XYZ as the meter mode. If you've already created a custom profile with a spectroradiometer, then you would select that down here. Also, we want to change this and enable our low light handler and change this to 5 seconds. Under 1.0 candelas per meter squared, or nits. Okay, next we're going to go find source. We need to take the IP address of our TV. So we need to select LG here. Change this to 2020, enter our IP address of our TV, and a 8-digit PIN number will pop up on the screen. We need to type that in. Okay, now we're connected to our internal pattern generator, and we have our window 10% selected here. Now we need to go up to the LG pattern generator here and change this to HDR 2020. Also on this step, if you would like to use an alternative white point, you can enter the XY values here. Okay, next. This step only applies if you are using an external Dolby Vision pattern generator like the VideoForge Pro, so we do not need to do this process here. Our pre-calibration measurements. Now, since on the 2020 and 2019 TVs, the internal generator is actually after the Dolby Vision processing block in the TV, so we can't actually measure through the block to do a pre or post calibration. So we need to skip this step. Okay, now we're going to connect to the actual TV itself. So we're going to go find LG TV, and then we need to select which model TV we're working on. In this case, it's an LG GX. Now, if you have a BX or LCD model, then you would select that here. But I'm going to select the Alpha 9 one because I have a GX that we're working on today. Okay, now we're going to re-enter our IP address because we're connecting as a display. But we do not need to enter the PIN number again. Okay, now we need to go down here and select Dolby Vision Cinema. You can calibrate Dolby Vision Cinema Home as a bright room mode, but one thing to remember is you cannot completely turn off the motion interpolation in that mode. So we recommend doing the cinema mode for reference viewing. Okay, now that everything's selected, we can go full DDC reset here. And this is going to upload a 1D lookup table, a Unity one that makes it so we can measure panel native. And you will see the screen turn really blue because that's the native white point of the panel. Okay, now that is done, we can go to next. Now this is another step that is only if you are using an external pattern generator. Since we're using the internal generator, we can skip this step. Okay, now we're going to do our Grayscale AutoCal. So we're going to hit our AutoCal button here. Now we're going to perform our Grayscale AutoCal. But before we do this, I want to verify that we're using, yes, Delta ITP as our DE formula under Application Measurement Options. Okay, so that's set like that. So now we're going to hit our AutoCal button. And we want to make sure it says LG 20 points HDR, and we can hit go. Okay, the Grayscale 1D LUT calibration is complete. It took a little over 25 minutes. We're going to hit OK. Okay, now we're going to create our Dolby Vision config file. This measures the panel's performance, the peak luminance, the black level, the primaries, red, green, and blue, and feeds that data back into the television's Dolby Vision engine, and the TV will then update its tone mapping for Dolby Vision for this specific panel, or your specific panel. So we're going to click Create Dolby Vision Config. We're going to tell it to write it to our desktop. Okay, now it's written to the desktop. Now we're going to click here and then select our file and hit open, and that's going to write it to the TV. Now we can go to next. This would be if we had an external pattern generator. Now we can't do a post calibration because of the fact that the internal generator is after the Dolby Vision engine in the pipeline. That is the process. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring the bell so you get notified of new content when we post it. And thank you very much for watching. Until next time.